Hello, everyone, and welcome back for our second lesson of the GED Social Studies. In this lesson, we're going to be going over types of government. So you will find you might get asked some questions about different types of government, but overall, it's just kind of good to have a sense of government. And like I've said in my prior videos, if these videos are helping you at all, like, comment, and subscribe. Communicate with me. It's awesome. I really, really would greatly appreciate it. Uh, so let's just get right into it. Let's go through this lesson. This one might be a little bit shorter, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. We're going to go on a journey together. So, types of government. I want you to think about different types of government. If you're here in the United States, for the most part, we've just been used to democracy or different, we get a little bit of changes every 4 years, but it's democracy nonetheless. But you could debate that. That's a video for another time. All right, so types of governments. The first one we're going to talk about is an autocracy. And what we have here, I have a picture of the Kims, okay, of North Korea. This will probably get my channel where it's banned in North Korea, but that's all right. That's perfectly fine with me. An autocracy. So what is it? Is a system of government in which supreme power over a state is concentrated in the hands of one single person. Okay. Other examples of this would have been like Nazi Germany, all different types, right? Throughout history, but all of the power is focused on one individual so like that's why I put up a picture of the Kims. Okay, through each generation, their entire government is centered around that person as an individual, and they have supreme power, right? So with ultimate power corrupts absolutely. Okay? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's a saying you should always get stuck in your head. You give anybody or anything absolute power, it's going to corrupt it. Okay? So, an autocracy, all of the power is in one individual. An oligarchy. Okay? So, what is an oligarchy? Maybe you've heard this term before. Well, let's kind of talk about that. So that's where it's a structure of government where it's either like in a small family or a small number of people. It could be corporations. Oligarchies are groups. Okay, so I mean another example of this would be Saudi Arabia, yeah, but your your Russian czars of prior to the communist revolution. Okay, so that's where you're going to see a lot of oligarchies, where it's families that are controlling different parts of the country. They are part of it's a government ran by families basically, and it's an interesting type of government. Okay, I'll leave my opinions out of it to the best of my ability. So nobility, right? So if we look at early England, okay, the noble families, okay, they controlled certain areas, and the peasants that lived in those areas were basically under the command of the nobles, right? Uh, the wealthy, there's oligarchies where it's very wealthy families can control everything, corporations, religious, military. Anarchy, right? So now you might have heard of the term anarchy, and maybe you know what anarchy is, but let's talk about that. It's a state of a society being freely constituted without authorities or governing body. So, no governing body. People on the individual level can do what they want. Those that support anarchy think that it's an idea where things would be better. Those against it, right? They are thinking that maybe it's probably going to be total chaos. But we haven't seen pure anarchy, I guess. And democracy, right? So the United States, fairly good example, uh, kinda, of democracy. Uh, like I said, that's up for debate. But let's just get to the definition. The people have the authority to choose their governing legislators. Okay, so the people are picking the people to run the government. Now, technically, that would be like a republic with representatives, right? Like for certain areas based off of population. That's what we have. We have just a weird mixture of types of government. That's the best way I would describe our democracy. Another really good way to describe the United States is a constitutional democracy, or republic with our representation. So there's a few different ways of looking at this, but those are not all of the different types of government. Government itself is incredibly complex, but they are very interesting. And that's what I want you to kind of take for a second and think about. That we have created these structures. We people have created all of these structures from early days. We've wanted to have somebody be in charge, right? And so it is very fascinating, interesting to look at these different types of government. And so that's why I want to ask you guys, right? So why, look at that, I'm blocking the entire question, okay? So why have governments like changed over the years? Why have they adapted, right? If you think back in time, 200, 300 years ago, we're looking at empires, right? Do we still have those empires? Look even farther back, and you have just all of these, like so many. It's a variety of governments across the planet, right? From people that ruled as if they were gods to republics, democracies where people were ruling themselves. All different types, all over history. Think the pharaohs of Egypt. So why have governments changed? Why have we changed? And are we changing for the better? That's my question for you guys. What do you think the future of governments will hold? Will we see, or are we seeing changes, or is it just something that we're so close to it that we don't see the history in the making, right? I remember watching some Discovery Channel show quite a few years ago about the possibility of a technocratic government, right? So think about technology and how it can be involved in government and the structure of government. So that's something that we've only begun to see with the recent pandemic, right? Where technology has had to be fully integrated into our government. What we've seen is just Zoom calls or whatever type of digital phone calls between our legislatures here in the United States, which I would say, this is just my opinion, but I would say that those phone calls are very upsetting to watch as someone, like, where it's like, oh, hey, they're representing us, and yet they can't work a computer. It's 2021 now. That should be a massive red flag. Just my opinion. You know, you can counter me all you want on that, and that's perfectly fine. But what do you think the futures of government are going to look like? What different types are they? We've had so many. Will they be the same, or will they be different? So I just want you to kind of sit, do some critical thinking, and comment down below what types of government you think you will see in the future. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for watching my video. You have a good day. Bye.